Zach Martin Kilgore with secretsoflongevity.com. It is Sunday, August 10th, 2009, here at the Hippocrates Health Institute, and it's day 2 of week 1. One of the things they recommend doing every day here at Hippocrates is an enema, a daily enema. That might come to a shock to some people, but those who actually know what benefit these have on the body will understand that when you're doing something like a very intense detoxification on a raw food, green, chlorophyll-rich diet, it's essential to be doing daily enemas to remove the toxins from the colon, which is basically the sewer system of the body. It's where everything ends up that the body wants to get rid of. It's funny to see some of the people in the lecture. I think some of them were a little surprised at this suggestion. And of course, they don't force anything on anyone. They just give you the bag, describe how to use it, and then send you on your way. But they do highly encourage it, and they give a very excellent explanation as to why. One quick example they talked about that I'll just repeat here is that if you take a handful of mud and you go onto the sidewalk and it's a hot summer's day, you throw it on the sidewalk, leave it for a day or two in the hot sun, it dries on there pretty good, gets crusty, and say you come along and you spray it with a little water. Some of it's going to run away, or wash away, run away with the water. If you were to spray it again the next day, you might remove a little more. So if you continue doing that, you get rid of a little more every day. And then on the other side, other extreme is colonics, and you get one free or courtesy colonic here at the Institute with your stay. They have a large number of therapies available that are above and beyond the basic price. So personally, actually, for the 3 weeks I'm here, I've chosen to do an extra 2 colonics just because I know how important and effective these therapies are. So in combination with the colonics and enemas, so an enema is just like a very short colonic without as much water volume, I hope to see a very significant change. In fact, I think that's going to be one of the biggest effects on my health, and the most benefit for my health is actually cleaning the colon. I've never done even an enema. Well, no, actually I have done coffee enemas, but those are different and not as good for you, just because of the caffeine. So yeah, I'm about to head over to dinner. Quickly, I'll just explain how the meals work here at the Institute. They serve green juice 3 times a day, if you weren't aware of that. These are mineral, vitamin-rich drinks made from whole organic foods. So one in the morning, it's cucumber and it's just cucumber, and then the one at 11 o'clock is cucumber, celery, and sprouts, sunflower and pea green sprouts, I believe. And then and the dinner time one is the same. And then they give you lunch and dinner. They don't actually give you a full non-liquid breakfast. So with lunch and dinner, about 15 to 20 minutes or even half an hour after the juices for those time periods, they serve dinner, which is a buffet of sprouts and sprouted beans, salad greens, as well as some more smaller quantities of gourmet raw food dishes. And they actually don't serve a hard, solid food breakfast unless you have a special prescription for one. And by prescription, it's just a recommendation by the doctors in case you don't want to lose too much weight or other things. But they actually talk about detoxing, and everyone talks about breakfast being such an important meal, but according to these guys, they recommend not taking a solid food breakfast or solid meal until after 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. And they say that between 11 p.m. and 11 a.m. the body's detoxing at its peak. So that's the ideal way to go. And what we know through calorie restriction and studies of the world's longest cultures, they don't eat grand slam breakfasts. I mean, they don't eat any meal that big. If you're really wanting to have a long, healthy life, you got to go for smaller quantities of food, very high nutrition, and the majority of it plant-based and even raw. If you're willing to go to the full route, make it 100% raw, 100% vegan. So right now, I'm going to go take you to have a look at the food. Just give you a brief look at the buffet, and I'll show you what my plate looks like at the end of it. Alright. So here's the Hippocrates buffet. Here's your plate. These are clover sprouts, a spring salad mix, red lentils, mung beans, adzuki beans, French lentils, fenugreek sprouts, broccoli sprouts, sunflower sprouts, and pea sprouts there. And that's sort of the core of the salad that we make here. And of course romaine, bean sprouts, some buckwheat sprouts. And here are some of the side dishes. We've got sushi today. Red peppers. That's just wasabi for the sushi. This is kimchi. And this is got cucumber, or rather zucchini, and some other things. It's called Count Your Chips Cucumber Mint. It's pretty good. And then on this side of the buffet they have cucumbers, scallions, onions, radishes, carrots, sauerkraut, and they encourage to eat a bit of sauerkraut with every meal. Black olives, everyone's favorite, the dulse. And daily, that's the same every day, the house dressing, as well as a separate daily dressing that's got different flavors every day. This one's avocado basil. And then there's some condiments over here, which is kelp, cinnamon, other spices, hot sauce, namashoyu. And then of course over here they have the garlic for the people that need to have a high amount of garlic added to their diet for inflammation or other reasons. Every meal is roughly the same, but the one thing that changes every day is, or even every meal, is the side dishes. And they want you to focus on the sprouts because they're the highest nutrition, highest enzyme, most energy dense live foods, and that's the foundation of the entire system. So that was a very delicious meal. One of the most common concerns with the raw food diet, or even vegetarian or vegan diets, is the lack of protein. And Hippocrates Health Institute here actually has the highest protein diet on the planet. You can get more protein from this diet than any animal-based diet, any vegetarian diet, any other diet. Green foods are the highest protein foods on the planet, despite the massive misconception. For example, if you take lettuce, just plain old romaine lettuce, the equal weight of lettuce to beef, so 1 pound of beef, and take 1 pound of lettuce, lettuce has 2.1 times more protein, complete protein, that is, than beef. Now that's by weight, so you have to eat a lot of lettuce compared to 1 pound of beef. It's a smaller quantity. But that goes to show you that if you're to eat a large amount of green food, you're going to get just as much protein as any other any animal-based product, or any other even soy product. One of the things they do here in large amounts is the green juice, and green juice is a way of getting a large quantity of greens into your diet without compromising digestibility. You're not going to be bloated all the time from so much food, but you can actually take a large amount of nutrients in, as well as protein. And if you want further information on raw vegan protein, please visit the article I've posted on my website. There's a link to it in the box up to your right. And one last thing I'll say is the Hippocrates diet also includes plenty of algae and seaweeds, which are the highest protein foods on the planet. For example, spirulina is 65% protein, whereas beef is, depending on what type of beef, if it's ground beef, it's around 24%. So just, if you think about that, it's quite astounding how all protein comes from vegetables.